Welcome. Again, I think this one will be easier if I can just show you right in iExcel. This lesson is just about the domain and the range of relationships. Again, we'll eventually get to functions, but for right now, these are just relationships. Now, the domain are your input values, your x values, or the numbers that are on the left of the ordered pairs, x, y, x, y, x, y, x, y. Domain is your input, your x's. So all that's asking for is the domain. So I would recommend you try to get in the habit, though, of always putting in your ordered pairs in numerical ascending order. So the very smallest domain value I have is a 9. Then you'd put a comma. The next domain value I have is a 12. Then you'd put a comma. Now, you do not need to repeat values in the domain. You've listed 12. You don't need to list it twice. You only have to list it once. Then it has a 14. So each domain value only needs to be listed once, no matter how often it appears in the ordered pairs. Here, it's now asking for the range. Range is not your input, it's your output, it's your y values. So again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the 3 points they give me, and I'm going to start down low at the bottom and work my way up. So the very lowest point I have is this point here, which has a y value of -3. So I have a -3, comma. The next point up, as I move up the graph, is this 1. Now, it has a y value of 1. Its x value is 0, but I don't care about the x value because I'm looking for the range. The range value is 1. And then the last point as I move up is this point here. Again, don't accidentally do the x value. We're looking for range, so I look over. The range is the y value, or the outcome, which is 3. And those are my 3 points. And again, I do it from least to greatest. Again, here's another one where they're giving you the graph, and it's asking for the domain. Now again, the domain is the x values. So as I go to the points, I work my way left to right across the graph, left to right. That gets me my smallest domain value first, which is this 1. This is the first point I come across as I work to the right. And it has an x value of 1. Then I get to these next 2 points. Now, interesting enough, these next 2 points have the same x value. They're lined up vertically. Again, if I'm looking for the x or domain, I don't need to repeat it. I don't need to list 3 twice. I just have to list it once, that 3 is in the domain. It is a possible input. Again here, they're asking for range in a set of ordered pairs. So again, set of ordered pairs, the range is the y value, so the numbers on the right. And again, you do not have to repeat if there's multiple. I have 2 16s, I only need to do the 16 once. And 16 was smaller than the 17, so that's why I did it first. 16 and 17 are the only 2 values in my range. Even though there's 3 points, there's only 2 values in my range. I'm going to skip ahead. We've done graphs. Again, they're going to get larger and larger. If they're asking for range, again, start at the bottom and work your way up. My smallest point has a y value of -4, comma. The next point as I work up along the graph has a y value of -2. As I continue to work up, I have 2 points that have a y value of 2, so I only need to put that 1 time though. Then my next point has a y value of 4, and my last point as I move up the graph has a y value of 5, because that's my range. I was hoping it would get to a Venn diagram, not a Venn, a mapping like we had in our previous lesson. But here, again, it's asking for domain, so I just look down this x values, and it actually looks like they're already written in ascending order. Oh, no, not quite, 17, right? And again, do not double. The very smallest input I have are x values, -1. So you do the -1. The next one up is 7. Now that has 7 twice, but you don't need to list it twice. We have 9. And then we have 2 17s, which you only need to list once. Again, I'm going to skip ahead. Hopefully finding, see, all these should be fairly simple. Just remember that your domain, so now that you're having to do both, So you'd have to go through it twice. Domain, you're going to work your way from left to right, has a domain value of -2 twice, but you don't need to repeat it. Domain value of 1, domain value of 3, again twice, but you don't need to repeat it. Domain value of 5. And then the range is working from top or bottom to top, moving up. I have a y value of -2, a y value of -1. That's this point here, and I continue up. I have a y value of +1, a y value of +2, y value of 3, and a y value of 4. And that is the range. If you have any questions, please do bring them to class.